Um, Trump's indictment proves that maggots are a cult. Now, basically, it's disgusting that these inbreds are treating Trump like Jesus, even though he's not. The elevation of Donald Trump to the level of God, or a prophet, or a visible ferryman, as I like to call him because there is no God, or a prophet by his sycophants, represents a much larger trend. The book, When Prophecy Falls, is a classic work of social psychology that examines a UFO doomsday cult waiting for the end of the world. Of course, the special day arrives, and the world does not end. But how do the cult members respond to this type of failure? By becoming more convinced that the prophecy is correct, even if it's not. Um, um, Now, Donald Trump is at the center of a similar pseudo-religious cult prophecy as well. His most loyal sycophantic inbreds truly believe him to be a type of divine, messianic, and all-powerful leader. In reality, there is nothing divine or messianic about Donald Trump at all. He is a mere mortal who has been credibly accused of many serious crimes. But nonetheless, right-wing Christian evangelicals and Christian fascists, to the degree that those two groups are distinct and separate from one another, have rationalized their support for Donald Trump, and I can't see why, because he doesn't do anything for them, and Trumpism, though the biblical myth of Cyrus. Now, the belief is that this invisible ferryman uses a wicked man as a tool of divine destiny and will. Trump is not a practicing Christian. He doesn't even attend church. Moreover, he looks very uncomfortable if he does set foot in the church and other religious gatherings. In reality, Donald Trump is a pathological liar, a malignant narcissist, and compulsive. Basically, he's a pathological, malignant narcissist and compulsive pathological liar, who is the god of his own personal religion and self-contained universe. Now, Trump views the right-wing Christians in a transactional way. Basically, he uses them for money. They are a tool to help him get and keep more power. Now, still, the white right, basically the white right-wing Christian evangelicals' faith in Trump, the prophetic figure was rewarded grandly. While Trump was squatter, Trump enacted a range of policies that furthered the creation of a white Christian fascist theocracy in America. The white right views him as a revolutionary leader, which he's nothing of the sort, a force of destiny in history, even though he is a destructor because he destroyed America, and he will force a new age where diversity, pluralism, and globalism are destroyed, and they are replaced by a white Christian empire where white men rule unopposed over all things. The QAnon conspiracy cult, with its apocalyptic obsession over Trump's retributive act of destruction known as the Storm, is one example. The inherent nature of cults, prophecies, and divine paranormal predictions is that they do not obey the rules of rationality, empiricism, or reason. As such, these prophecies and other such acts of magical thinking can be twisted to fit any scenario or desired outcome. Now, to this point, at his recent 2024 Squatterole campaign Klan rally in Waco, which was attended by more than 10,000 followers, which is kind of surprised it even still has that many, Trump spoke of being a victim of a conspiracy, which he's not a victim. And he basically says that he's a man who's being persecuted as part of a witch hunt, and him being persecuted is not a witch hunt. He's being indicted and prosecuted because of the many crimes he's committed. Now, Trump, of course, channeling Hitler or some other great tyrant, promised to be a force of retribution and revenge who will engage in a final battle against his maggots movement, some so-called enemies. Now, BBC described Trump's Waco Klan rally in the following way. Thousands of the former squatters' sycophants wandered through Trump's merchandise tents where they brought T-shirts emblazoned with God, guns, and Trump won. No, Trump lost. They know it. They just can't fucking handle the fact that he fucking lost. Now, through his logic, any attempt to hold Trump accountable under the rule of law is translated into being an attack on the members of his maggot movement and personality cult. Now, the timing and choice of Waco to hold Trump's first major 2024 squatter Klan rally was not a mistake or a coincidence. That city is a type of holy ground for the white right and larger American anti-government movement because of its connection to the tragic 1993 raid by law enforcement on the Branch Davidian compound that resulted in the deaths of more than 80 people. By hosting his Klan rally in Waco, Trump presented himself as a type of cult leader and martyr figure who's willing to die and to kill for his followers, or as I like to call them, inbred sycophants. In a story at the Daily Mail, members of the Branch Davidian cult, including its current pastor, explained how they view Trump as a prophet and God's battering ram for their cause. The Branch Davidians are said to consider the former squatter as the battering ram that Invisible Ferryman is using to bring down the deep state of Babylon. The FBI's raid on the grounds compound, Mount Carmel, which the Branch Davidians view as a government overstep, is similar to what they claim happened to Trump. The former squatter, 76, is set to hold a Klan rally in had held a Klan rally in Waco that particular afternoon, which was coinciding with the 30th anniversary of the FBI raid on Branch Davidians on the Branch Davidians compound, formerly led by David Koresh. Now, Trump's holding of a Klan rally in Waco is a statement that he was sieged by the FBI at Mar-a-Lago, and that they're accusing him of different things that he claims aren't true, which they are. David Koresh was accused by the FBI when they sieged him. Now, Koresh's successor, Pastor Charles Pace, told the New York Times. On Tuesday, Donald Trump surrendered, not peacefully, to law enforcement authorities and was arraigned in a Manhattan courthouse for his many crimes connecting to hush money payments he made to former porn star Stormy Daniels during the 2016 campaign. Trump is now the first former squatter to be indicted on criminal charges in the country's history. Now, Trump's sycophants at his encouragement have taken his indictment and now arrest as proof that he's being persecuted like Jesus or some other type of divine mythical figure. That's nothing of the sort. In the recent Future Advice, reporter Tess Owens provides these details. The former squatter has long played a key role in the imaginations of Christian nationalists who believe America is an inherently Christian nation and should have Christian laws, and that Trump is their savior, which he's not. Christian nationalist language has seeped into maggot world rhetoric, but Trump's imminent arrest has taken it to a whole new level. Now, the lawyer Joseph McBride, who has represented a handful of January 6 Klan insurrectionist traitors, thinks that the timing of Trump's likely arrest is notable. Trump was arrested during Lent. Will be arrested during Lent, a time of suffering and purification for the followers of Jesus, for the invisible ferryman Jesus. McBride had wrote on Twitter, "As Christ was crucified and then rose again on the third day, so too will Trump." No, he won't. When he faced some pushback on comparing Trump's plight to Jesus Christ, hours long torture, McBride doubled down. Jesus loves Trump. No, he doesn't. Jesus died for Trump. No, he didn't, because Jesus, if he ever existed, does not know who the fuck Donald is. Jesus does not live inside Trump. McBride tweeted, "So fucking deal with that, McBride, because Trump does not love Jesus. He does not know who he is. He did not die for Donald Trump, because Donald Trump did not live 2,000 years ago, if supposedly Jesus was supposed to have lived back then." Other Trump sycophants see eerie similarities between the Manhattan DA and the Romans who crucified Jesus. Now, Rome tried to silence a peaceful leader through political persecution, and they ended up creating the most pervasive and permanent religious figure in all of world history. The maggot world influencer Rihanna Dilly wrote on Twitter, "Good fucking luck, New York." Now, Owen continues on Monday night. A Christian nationalist group called Pastors for Trump, which I don't see how you can be pastors and support Trump, because Trump does not give a fuck about you. They held a national prayer call on his behalf, which I don't understand why. But Trump allies Roger Stone, who's a dumbass, and Michael Flynn, another dumbass, joined the call, and it was hosted by Pastor Jackson LeMahieu. Now, Father, right now, I thank you for Donald Trump, which I don't. There's nothing to thank him for. On Tuesday afternoon, the Republican representative Marjorie Taylor Greene held a poorly attended Klan rally in support of Trump outside of the Manhattan courthouse, where the disgraced former squatter was being arraigned. During an interview before the event, Taylor Greene retreated from she retreated from this interview after being heckled by a much larger group of counter-protesters, and she also elevated Trump to the level of Jesus Christ. Trump is joining some of the most incredible people in history being arrested today. Now, yes, Nelson Mandela is incredible, but Trump is not. Nelson Mandela was arrested, and he served time in prison for fighting for his country's rights. Now, Jesus was arrested and murdered by the Roman government. Now, Rolling Stone reports how the disgraced former squatter wanted a high-profile surrender for purposes of propaganda and political theater, now during which he would show the world how he is a Jesus Christ-like figure, which is nothing of the sort. Now, the Secret Service had argued in favor of holding the proceedings outside of court business hours at night with minimal cameras and less risk, but Trump, a source close to his legal team, says he wants to create the type of scene that he believes will galvanize the sycophants. Now, the elevation of Trump to the level of a god or a puppet or some other tool of destiny by his sycophants and enablers represents a much larger trend among the American right-wing conservative movement and other neo-fascist and malign actors. Now, today's Republican Party and conservative movement have abandoned any pretense of normal politics, and they instead have fully committed themselves to anti-rationality, anti-intellectualism, a rejection of learned real expertise, religious fundamentalism, conspiracism, alternative facts, and the big lie. Now, this is a type of religious politics that is anti-ethical to real democracy. Now, Trump's indictment and arrest may not result in massive and immediate violence by his sycophants, but the danger should not be minimized. Now, the public opinion and other research show that millions of Trump sycophants are radicalized in support, and a not insignificant number of which are willing to participate in acts of violence on Donald Trump's behalf in the name of maggot holy water, or like a holy war, if he were to issue such a declaration. As seen on January 6th and beyond, such people are capable of doing anything to get and keep corrupt power. And why? Because they are engaged in the holy war by their invisible ferryman. So if you like the video, you can give the video a like and subscribe to my channel, RBW King. You can also hit the notification bell so that you'll be notified when a new video comes out. And if you want, and you can also leave a comment, let me know what you think. And if you want to support my work even further, you can donate to my Patreon link, which you can find in the About section of YouTube. And for a little as $3 a video or a month, your donation can help go a long way. And thanks for listening.